student. This is our class 5, subject social science EVS, term 3, chapter number 5, the United Nation. This is our lecture number 2 plus summary lecture. Student, in today's lecture we will be studying about the different organs of the UNO, agencies of the UNO, plus we will summarize our chapter. Student, let us start with the main organs of the UNO and their function. Student, there are 6 organs of the UNO. There are 6 parts of the UNO. The first one is the General Assembly. Second, the Security Council. Third, the Economic and Social Council. Trusteeship Council. International Court of Justice. And the last one is the Secretariat. In today's lecture, we will study each one of them one by one. Student, let us start with our first organ, that is the General Assembly. Student, General Assembly is one of the most important organ of the UNO. All 193 members of the UNO are the parts of the General Assembly, and one president is elected by this General Assembly. One president from 193 members is elected as a president. Okay, president is the head of the General Assembly, which is elected from among 193 members. He is elected by this member for 1 year. Okay, working period of this president is 1 year. The General Assembly works like a parliament and meets once a year. Meeting of the General Assembly is held once in a year. And what is the function of this General Assembly? The function of the General Assembly is to discuss the international problems or international disputes, and this General Assembly gives peaceful solution to that disputes. Okay, function is to maintain peace and security. How it maintains peace and security? It maintains peace and security by holding a meeting in which all the disputes are discussed and peaceful solution of that disputes is taken out. Students, special meetings can also be held if required. It's compulsory that there will be one meeting once a year, but if there is any requirement of other meeting, special meetings can also be held if whenever required. Every important matter is discussed in the General Assembly and each country has one vote. Every matter related to international disputes is discussed in the General Assembly, and each country, every 193 country has one vote. Our Vijayalakshmi Pandit of India was the first woman president of the UN General Assembly in 1953. In 1953, Vijayalakshmi Pandit of India was elected as the first woman president of the UN General Assembly in 1953. She was elected in 1953 as a woman president of the General Assembly. Student, our next topic is the Security Council. The Security Council is the second organ of the UNO. As the name is suggesting, security. Security means to maintain peace around the world. The function of the Security Council is to maintain peace among the nations. Okay, it is the most important organ of the United Nations, and it has 15 members. Okay, there are 15 members in the Security Council, among which 5 members are permanent. Okay, and 10 are elected for 2 years by General Assembly. Okay, Security Council has 15 members. Among these 15 members, 5 are permanent and 10 are elected by the General Assembly for 2 years. Its function is to maintain peace and security in the world. Okay, now the 5 permanent members are USA, Russia, UK. UK means United Kingdom, France and China. USA, Russia, UK, France and China are the permanent member, and other 10 members are elected by the General Assembly from among 193 countries for only 2 years. Okay, Now students, these permanent member have a special power which we call it as veto power. Okay, you have to remember it, that what veto power is. But what is veto power? It is the special power which is given to this permanent member. Okay, under this veto power, each of this permanent member have a power to say no to any decision. Okay student, if 4 permanent members are in favor to take decision but one says no, then the decision of the 4 cannot be implemented. Okay, this power is called as veto power. Veto power means every permanent member has a power to say no to any decision. Okay, if among this any country says no to any decision, then that law or that decision is not taken place. Okay, that decision will not be taken. Okay student, main function of the Security Council is to maintain peace and security in the world. Its function is to have no wars in the world. Okay, and UN does not have its own military forces. It asks the member countries to send its armed forces whenever required. Okay beta, this Security Council do not have its own forces, but it asks the member countries to send their forces whenever required. Okay, to maintain peace. Okay, these forces are known as peacekeeping forces. Next organ is the Economic and the Social Council. Okay, what is the function of this Economic and Social Council? It provides helps to the poor countries. Okay, it solves the problem related to economic and social problems. Okay, it solves economic and social problems. It helps at the time of the natural calamities. Okay, whenever a natural calamities like earthquake, flood, drought, anything happens, then Economic and Social Councils helps the other countries. Okay, it helps the member of the UNO countries by providing funds, clothes, medicine to the affected country. All 193 members of the UNO are the part of the Economic and Social Council. Okay. Next is the Trusteeships Council. Student, this Trusteeships Council was established in 1945. Okay, and its function was to look after the colonies. Colonies means those countries which are ruled by different countries. Okay. Next is the International Court of Justice. This court settles disputes between different countries. Okay, whenever there is any kind of disputes, then International Courts of Justice solves the disputes and take the decision legally. Okay, and where this International Court of Justice is located? It is located at the Hague in Netherlands. Okay, there are 15 judges under International Court of Justice which are elected for 9 years. Sixth organ of the UNO is the Secretariat. Okay, it is the executive branch. Executive means that implement any rule. Okay, it takes all the administrative work are carried out here. Okay, it is the executive branch, means it implants any rule or take any decision which has been taken by any other organs. Okay, it is the executive branch. It implements the programs and policies that are made under the UNO. Okay, the secretary, it has the head. Who is the head of the secretariat? The Secretary General is the head of the Secretariat, and he is the spokesperson of the UNO. Okay, the Security Council nominates him and the General Assembly appoints him for 5 years. Okay, the Secretariat is elected by the Security Council and appointed by the General Assembly for 5 years. Now student, in Ban Ki-moon, he was the last Secretary General of the UNO. Okay, presently the Secretary General is Antonio Guterres. Antonio, Antonio, Antonio Guterres. He is the present General Secretary of the Secretariat. Okay. Now what is the function of the Secretariat? The function is to implement the programs and policies which are made under the UNO. Student, this is the list showing the present and the past Secretary General of the United Nations. Here you just have to remember the first and the present Secretary General of the Secretariat. Okay, who was the first General Secretary of the Secretariat? He was Trygve Lie. He was from Norway. Okay, he worked from 1946 to 1952. Presently, Antonio Guterres. He was elected in 1st January 2017. He is the present Secretary General of the Secretariat. Okay. Student, now we have completed the different organs of the UNO. Now we will be studying about the agencies of the United Nations. Student, there are many agencies. Agency means department or the body that work along with the organs of the United Nations. Okay, beta. These are a department or the body that also help the United Nations. Okay, there are different agencies like WHO, FO, ILO. Okay, we will study each one of them one by one. Now the first one is World Health Organization, WHO. Okay, it was established in 7th April 1948 and its headquarters is in Switzerland, in Geneva. Where is Geneva? It is the place in Switzerland. Okay. World Health Organization. Health. It provides service related to the health. Okay. Whenever there is any kind of problem related to health, like whenever there is natural calamity, then or any other problem, this WHO provides its help by giving service related to the health. Okay, it provides free free services like providing medicines to the victims of the UN of the natural calamities. Okay, the function is to give service related to the health. Next agency is FAO, Food and Agricultural Organization. Student, this agency works in the field of food and agriculture. Okay, its function is just to improve the food and agriculture of the countries. Okay, it was established in October 1945 and its headquarters is at Rome, which is in Italy, and its main aim is to fight against hunger. Okay, and to improve the food production of the country. Student, the next is the UNESCO. The United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization. Okay, UNESCO mainly works in the field of education and cultural. Okay, its function is to improve the education and culture of the member countries of the UNO. Okay, its main function is to improve the level of education and culture. It was established in 1945. Its headquarters is in Paris, which is in France, and it works in the field of education, science and culture. Okay, its function is to improve the education level of the nation. Next is the UNICEF, United Nations International Children's Emergency Fund. Okay, this UNICEF works in the field of children's. Okay, its main aim to upliftment of the children. Okay, its main function is to improve the condition of the children. Okay, to fight any problem related to the children, like giving them proper nourishment to the children or giving funds for their education. Okay, the UNICEF mainly works in the field of children. Okay, its main function is to upliftment of the children. It was established in 1946 Its headquarters is in New York, which is in USA, and it deals with the children related problems and aims at their upliftment. Okay. Next is the ILO. ILO means International Labour Organization. Okay, it works in the field of labor. Okay, its aim is to improve the condition of the workers, of the labor. Okay, its function is to improve the condition of the labor or workers around the world. Its headquarters is in Geneva, which is in Switzerland. Okay, and it was formed as official ILO during 1946. It became the part of the UNO in 1946. Now student, we are left with our last topic, that is the achievements of the UN. What achievements have UN done till now? Okay, what achievements? Achievements means the things that the UNO has achieved. What student? UNO has done many things. United Nations has played an important role to maintain peace and to settle international disputes. Okay beta, United Nations has tried to maintain peace by settling the disputes between different nations in a peaceful manner. It has reduced tension in many areas through goodwill mission and peacekeeping organization. Its efforts have prevented conflict from growing into major wars in Kashmir, Congo, West Asia, Cyprus and Yemen. Okay, UNO has tried to prevent the conflict from growing into major wars. Okay, the Kashmir, Congo, West Asia, Cyprus and Yemen have the conflict among different countries. Okay, these areas have conflict with other countries. Okay, UNO has tried to solve their disputes by peaceful manner. Okay, and for its work Nobel Prize was given to the UNO in 1988. The UNO also promotes disarmament. It plays an important role in arms control and in particularly in preventing the use of nuclear weapons. Okay, this UNO prevent the use of arms or prevent the use of weapon like nuclear weapon against any other country. Okay, student, let us summarize our chapter. The United Nations. The United Nations organization is an organization which was formed in 1945 after the Second World War. After First World War means the First World War which took place in 1914 to 1918. The League of Nations was formed, which was formed in 1920, but because it was not successful in stopping the war, the Second World War happened. After the Second World War, it was named as United Nations Organization. These battles are known as World War because different countries were involved in that wars. Second World War was fought between two parties that were Axis power, whose member country were Italy, Germany, Japan, and the second party that was Allies. Its member were Britain, France, USA and USSR. These wars caused huge destruction. Many lakhs of the people were killed, which compelled the countries to form an organization to stop the war, because of which the UNO came into existence. The UNO was formed on 24th October 1945, which is also known as Peacekeeping Organization. It was formed in a meeting that was held at the San Francisco region of the USA, during which 50 member countries participated, and they signed a set of rules which is known as Charter. Okay. Because the UNO was formed on 24th October, so every year 24th October is celebrated as the UN Day, and the UNO was coined by the Franklin D. Roosevelt. Franklin D. Roosevelt, the President of the USA, named this organization as the United Nations Organization. Initially, when it was formed, there was only 50 members, but presently there are 193 member country of the UNO. Okay, and India became its part in 1945. Next, we studied that it has many main principles. Some of them are given below. We studied that its main function is to maintain peace and security in the world. Its principle is to respect the sovereignty and integrity of each other, and use of force or threat to peace should be avoided, and by peaceful manner the dispute should be solved. Next, we studied about the main objectives. Objectives means aims. What are the aims of the UNO? The aims are to maintain peace and security in the world, and to solve the disputes by peaceful means, to promote friendly relation among the nation, to remove the poverty and unemployment, and to ensure the freedom for all the people. And next is to promote respect for human rights and to improve the living standard of the people. These are the objectives of the United Nations. Next, we studied that the United Nations has its own constitution and flag. The flag of the main functions and the organs of the United Nations. There are 6 members under the UNO. The first is the General Assembly, Security Council, Economic and Social Council, Trusteeship Council, the International Court of Justice, and the last was the Secretariat. Under the General Assembly, we have studied that 193 member countries are the members of the General Assembly, and it has a president which is selected from among all these country. Okay, he is elected only for 1 year, and every year there at least one meeting is held in the General Assembly, and its main function is to discuss the international problem and to solve the disputes in a peaceful manner. Okay, it also appoints the non-permanent member of the Security Council. Vijay Lakshmi Pandit of our country was elected as the first woman president of the General Assembly in 1953. Next organ we studied the Security Council. The Security Council, its main aim is to maintain peace and security. It has 15 members. Among these, 5 are permanent and 10 are elected for 2 years by the General Assembly. The permanent members are the USO, Russia, UK, France and China. This permanent member has a special power which is known as veto power. Under this power, any country can say no against any decision, and whenever any country says no to that decision, that decision is not taken place, or any law against which no has been done, then that law is not implemented. Okay, its main function is to maintain peace and security and to have no wars in the world. This Security Council do not have its own military. It sends the armed forces from among the member countries whenever needed. These forces are known as peacekeeping force. Under the Economic and Social Council, we studied that it solves the economic and social problem and helps the poor country by giving funds, and it also provides help during natural calamities like earthquake, floods, drought by sending funds and clothes, medicine to the affected country. Next was the Trusteeship Council, and its function was to look after the colonies. Okay, colonies means the countries that were ruled by some other country. Okay. Next was the International Court of Justice. It solves the dispute between different countries in the court that is located at The Hague, the Netherlands. It has 15 judges which is elected for 9 years. The last organ was the Secretariat. The Secretariat is the executive branch which implements the program and policies which are done under the UNO. Okay, Secretary General is the head of the Secretariat. Presently, the Antonio Guterres, which was elected in 2017, is the Secretary General of the Secretariat. Okay, and he is elected for the period of 5 years. And who elect or appoints the Secretary General? Secretary General is elected by the Security Council and the General Assembly. Next, we studied the agencies of the United Nations. Agencies are the department or the bodies along with the organs that helps the United Nation. Okay. Under this, we studied that there are different agencies like World Health Organization, FAO, UNICEF. Under the World Health Organization, we studied that it was formed in 1948. Its headquarters is in Switzerland and it provides service related to the health. Okay. Next agency was the FAO, Food and Agriculture Organization. Its aim is to fight against hunger or to improve the food production. Okay, it was formed in 1945 and its headquarters is in Rome. Next was the UNESCO. UNESCO means United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization. This is the agency of the UNO. Its headquarters is in Paris and it was established in 1945. Its function is to improve the educational level of the nation. Next was the UNICEF. UNICEF means United Nations International Children's Emergency Fund. This agency mainly work for the upliftment of the children. Okay, it mainly works in the field of children. Okay, it deals with the children related problems, and it was established in 11th December 1946 and its headquarters is in New York, which is in USA. Our last agency was the ILO, International Labour Organization. Its function is to improve the condition of the worker around the world. Its headquarters is in Geneva, which is in Switzerland, and it became the UNO member in 1946. Under the achievements of the UNO, we have studied that UNO has played an important role to maintain peace and security in the world. It has tried to prevent the conflict among the countries like Congo, West Asia, Kashmir and Yemen. UNO was awarded as a Nobel Prize in 1988 for its peaceful work, and UNO has also opposed or prevented the discrimination done in South Africa on the basis of the race, and it has also prevented the use of weapons like nuclear weapons or arms against any other countries. Okay, students, I hope this much is clear to you all. Student, this is the end of our chapter. I hope this chapter is clear to you all. Please try to read it yourself also. If there will be any query, I will take it in our online class. Okay student, now your homework is do this following question. The first question is, what are the functions of the General Assembly? Here you have to write the functions of the General Assembly. Okay. Next question is, what is veto power? Okay, and how many countries have this power? Our last question is, name any 4 agencies of the UNO and their function. Here you have to write the name of the 4 agencies of the UNO and their function. Student, please try to do these questions and send it on my mail ID. Okay, I hope this lecture is clear to you all. Thank you so much.